Greetings loved ones and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another vlog. Finally, it's been a while. Oh God, when was the last time we spoke? I think it was the end of September. And it's so funny because at the end of my last vlog, I was like, yeah, I think maybe I'm just gonna start doing more frequent vlogs, but just making them slightly shorter. And at the time, I really believed that I could and would do that. But then October has just been an absolute whirlwind. And I have good excuses for why I've been gone because we have been either having people in town or out of town visiting other people every single week since my last video, and just the people we've been with I don't typically film with. So it's been a mixture of busyness and just being in the moment, but then also just really not having the time, and then now I finally have the time, kind of, and I'm back. And what's so funny is I'm filming this on a Monday and we literally have more people coming to visit this weekend. My parents are coming to visit us. And really throughout October, this is what you've missed, okay? We, at the beginning of the month, had my hometown bestie, Abby, and her husband, Cody, come to visit us. And I actually started a new vlog right before they came to visit, but then I just got so overwhelmed by all of the things that needed to get done on the to-do list that I kind of just put down the vlog and forgot about it. But I did get a little bit of footage before their visit, so I will put that in now.
Flashback.
Today, I'm having a little self-care moment. I got no baby in the back seat. I got a real life purse with me instead of a diaper bag. Also, look at the inside of this purse. I die for this. It's so cute. There's like little mice and mushrooms. This is from Fable. Anyway, I'm in all green today. Literally green pants, green sweater, green headband, green purse. And you know, you would think it's St. Patrick's Day and I'm trying not to get pinched, but I just love this color and I'm feeling myself, all right? Because I just got my nails done. They're looking gorgeous and iconic, a nice blood red for spooky season. And I also got my toes done. I'm going to a wedding soon, so that's why I wanted to get my nails done. And I also, well, I don't know what this vlog is really gonna entirely be, kind of like self-care moment, taking time for myself, but also trying to improve the house a little bit and maybe doing some cleaning and prep because my bestie Abby is coming from Georgia to Vermont with her husband, and then they're gonna go camp in Acadia National Park after seeing us, and it's just gonna be a cute little time, so I'm so excited to have them. I also want to deep clean kind of the living room area because when you walk into the wing now, it's just renovation stuff for the bathroom because the second bathroom that Finley's building is like right there, and so there's like drop cloths and plywood everywhere stacked up on some sawhorses, and like that can all stay, but I also want to make it easier for them to go in there. But they also said that they might just camp outside since they brought all their stuff to camp in Acadia. So I don't know what they'll end up doing, and I probably won't vlog, I don't think, when they're here, because normally I don't really film around friends just for their own privacy and for me to have like a little bit of time off. But I wanted to start this vlog and just kind of do like prep for their visit. And then right now I'm about to go drive back home, pick up my tiny little Tinker, put her in the car, and take her to go for a walk with my midwife, Rebecca. I had two midwives, Rebecca and Tanya, for my home birth, but I saw Rebecca the most consistently for all of my visits and stuff. And I haven't seen her since I think week 7 postpartum. So it's been a minute. I haven't seen her since like either end of June or early July. I don't remember, honey, but it's been so long. It's October now. And she sent me, like, you know how iPhone does those little like memory slideshow videos? She sent me one that her phone made of my birth the other day. And she was like, miss you. And I was like, miss you so much. Think about you all the time. I was just telling Finley the other day that I wish that you guys were my moms, but also at the same time, like, you're not my moms, you're just my friends. And I guess I don't have to be pregnant to see you, you know, like we can hang out. Do you want to go for a walk? And so that's what we're doing. And I'm just so excited to gab with her, gossip with my gal. It's gonna be great. On Monday, Corvidia got to meet her great Grammy for the first time, my 90-year-old Grammy. Oh, I just love her so much. It was so amazing just to have that because I'm the first to give her a great grandchild. But her husband has 13 great grandchildren. So she was like, when is it gonna be my time? You know what I mean? And I had told her, I think in the vlog where I announced my pregnancy, I included included all of those like clips of telling friends and family. And we called her and told her on the phone, like, you know, around Thanksgiving-ish of 2023. And I'm just so glad that now Corvidia is here and gets to meet her. It was fantastic. We drove to like Lake George area of New York to go and spend some time with them on Monday. So that's what you missed on Glee. And that's the summary of what I'm doing today. This is a really long clip and I'm gonna go home and get my little baby. I think she's asleep, hanging out with Mr. Finster. Love ya. Welcome back to probably another fall-ish vlog. Okay, Mr. Larry's coming with Corvidia and I to go for our walk. And it's gonna be so fun. Yes. Corvidia, do you think that you'll remember Rebecca and how she was your midwife who caught you? She delivered you? Isn't this just friggin' picturesque? God, I love it here. Gorgeous day. Incredible. You're doing so good. Okay, we are making some quick pumpkin pie overnight oats before bed, and I want to show you the recipe, but first off, what you're gonna need is a little bit of pumpkin pie spice. I made my own. It's really easy just to make your own spice blends, so just look up the recipe. And then I have some canned pumpkin here, chia seeds, milk, you can use whatever milk you like, rolled oats, and protein powder. Let's do it. First, we're starting with 3/4 a cup of milk. Pour that bad boy in there. And then we're adding in our scoop of protein powder and 3/4 teaspoon pumpkin pie spice. I'm just filling up a teaspoon and shaking a little bit of it out. Why does this lid not actually fit on here? Oh God, that's what I get for picking a cute jar. Anyway, you're just gonna kind of shake this bad boy up. I'm trying to shake this without getting milk everywhere. Yeah, there it is. So that was a bad idea, we can all agree. I'm gonna need a new jar. She's not doing well. I'm honestly just gonna pour this into a Tupperware. I would be remiss if I didn't use my tiny whisk. I love the tangy zip of Miracle Whip. That is mixed up. 1/4 cup of pumpkin puree, 1/4 cup of old-fashioned oats. This is a better angle. I should have been using the entire time. A tablespoon and a half of chia seeds. Y'all ever just use your measuring spoons as a mixing spoon? Because you're like, why dirty another spoon? There you have it. Put it in the fridge. Let it congeal. I hate that word, but it's gonna congeal. And then you can have it in the morning. And you can sweeten it to your liking then. I don't like to add too many sweeteners ahead of time. Good night, oats.
Tomorrow for sure.
Okay, y'all. Good afternoon. I would say good morning, but I have been really struggling today just to get everything done that I need to get done. You know those days when you wake up and you have the longest to-do list and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get all of this done. I'm gonna wake up early, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna vacuum the whole house. And then also write some stuff for Patreon and send in a script for work and all of these things. And I'm like, well, I got a couple of those things done now that it's almost 3 p.m. But I definitely haven't vacuumed the whole house, and I definitely didn't work out, but I did shower, so that's good at least. And I kind of tidied up the bathroom since we're going to be sharing this bathroom with our guests while they're in town. Anyway, when I showered, I did a rosemary hair oil before I got in, and I kind of brushed it through and massaged it into my scalp, and I'm hoping, because I double shampooed, that it's not gonna look really greasy. My scalp postpartum, I've been talking about this, it's just been very dry. All of my skin has been very dry. I'm pretty sure it's because your estrogen drops so low, but at least my hair is like still healthy and doing good. My hair and my nails and my skin, knock on wood, have been doing well postpartum. I have been having a little bit of postpartum hair loss, but I don't feel like anything too crazy. Maybe because I take a bunch of omega-3s and like really prioritize that. I don't really know. Do you guys do the same thing where you just absolutely spiral before you have guests over? Like, I know that they're not gonna be judging my home, but pretty much every time I have company over, I'm anxious until their arrival. And then they're here and I'm like, oh, this is incredible. But like the preparation beforehand, you know, especially when like half of our house is a renovation zone, I'm like, what do I clean? Yes. All of it or none of it? Anyway, my head is starting to hurt and I really think my period is coming sometime soon. I just don't know when, but I'm feeling a little depleted. I might make a smoothie and then start cleaning. Look at this dragonfly hanging out. That was nice. I changed my smoothie recipe, by the way, so I'm gonna show you how to make it, and you can sub out the brewer's yeast powder if you're not nursing, but it helps my milk supply. So you'll need some kale and spinach, cinnamon, flaxseed, rolled oats. This is also for my milk supply, so if you didn't want that, you could sub it out as well. Blueberries, chia seeds here in the back. I've been using goat kefir recently because I had a physical with my doctor and we were talking about just how hard cow milk can be to digest sometimes. So especially because I have this smoothie like almost every day, it's just better on the stomach to do a little goat milk, just easier to get down, you know.
It's so fun learning about what you eat.
And then peanut butter, and I've been joking to Finley that I've been getting into powders, but not the ones you might be thinking of, just all of these various supplement powders. It's like I get a new one all the time and just add them. It's really becoming a problem. I use maca. This was also a recommendation from my doctor, colostrum, to help with my immunity, especially during like cold and flu season. And then protein powder, I use an unflavored and unsweetened one. Okay, let's make it. Okay, I put basically like 2 cups of kefir in here. I will say the goat kefir is like yogurt. It's not runny like milk at all. Put like almost 2 cups, so basically to there. A handful of spinach and kale. Just realized you can't even see. Probably like a 1/2 cup or so of blueberries. Maybe like a 1/4 cup or so of rolled oats. Some chia seeds. Dash of cinnamon, a tiny scoop of colostrum, a big scoop of protein powder, a teaspoon of maca, a tablespoon of brewer's yeast, a big spoonful of peanut butter, and then I eat whatever peanut butter is left on the spoon because I love peanut butter. Oh my God, incredible. The peanut butter is for a healthy fat. Oh, I forgot to say, I add a pinch of salt for some electrolytes.
You've got some real problems lately.
With my healthy smoothie. And then probably like a tablespoon-ish of flax seeds for those omega-3s. And then blend it. Speaking of great sources of omega-3s, you guys know I also take this Vectomega supplement from Terry Naturally, so shout out to them for sponsoring this video. During my postpartum phase, I've been making sure I guarantee omega-3s in my diet by taking this, since it's just one easy tablet daily, but they also have capsules. That being said, everyone reacts to postpartum differently, and you should always check with your healthcare practitioner before taking any supplements. Vectomega is the only omega-3 supplement on the market that's bound to phospholipids for better absorption. That makes it much more of a stable delivery to your body compared to other oil-based omega-3s out there. It's also sourced from North Atlantic salmon, which is a premium source of DHA/EPA that's great for your heart and brain. I just love this stuff, and I love working with Terry Naturally because not only do they make products that are good for me, they also are just a company with great standards, especially when it comes to labeling, storage, and shipping. All their products go through rigorous testing to ensure safety and reliability, so I highly recommend checking out all of their products linked below if you're looking for some new supplements. Thanks, Terry Naturally. Dad's home from the hardware store and he didn't even make it to the front door. Had to get out for the cuddles. At least the front porch is looking iconic. Okay, the kitchen is honestly pretty good right now. I just need to finish vacuuming the stairs. I only made it a couple of stairs up before I was like, I just hate this. It's just so hard to balance and vacuum up there. I wish partially that like I didn't have a corded one for the stairs, but it's just so much more powerful, and our Dyson cordless is really not powerful at all. It's pretty much broken now. Anyway, I finally just did a hardware store run for various renovation projects, but one that we are figuring out at the moment is fixing our toilet before our friends come in a little bit, and so he got this fancy new gold handle. The wing, on the other hand, this is what I mean by just pushing the renovation stuff out of the way so that they can walk. But also, I just need to clean up all of Rue's toy fluff and all of this artwork. We laid all of this artwork out so that we could try to figure out what to put in a gallery wall that would go above the baby's crib, and I just need to put it back in these boxes. But then also today, I took this twin size mattress out and I was like, okay, maybe one of them will want to sleep on the air mattress and the other will want to sleep on the twin. And then I got this shelf that is, it's like an heirloom in my family. And I want to bring that upstairs to the bedroom and hang that this weekend as well. But I don't have to do that before my friends get here. They won't care. And then I've also just been taking down the curtains because I don't want them anymore. Papers have been strewn about. I have some artwork over there that needs to go in like an office space. I was trying to sort out the artwork by like purpose. Anyway, this is where they're gonna be sleeping, so I really gotta tidy this place up. This is what we call teamwork making the dream work. You saw it before. Look at it after, honey. Gorgeous.
End of flashback.
We had such a fantastic visit with them. It was so, so great just to be able to show them Vermont. And they're also very similar to us as people. So I just knew that they would really, really love it. And it was their first time here together. And it was just so, so great. And it's like the perfect time to visit. And then we literally had like 2 days after their visit to prep and pack. And then we went out of town for a week to Virginia for some family and friend weddings, and also just to kind of like hang out with Corvidia's grandparents. And she met her great-grandparents and a lot of Finley's extended family as well at those events, which was really fantastic just to be able to like introduce her to everybody, especially before Christmas time when it gets really hectic and there's like less time to see people. And if you're curious about our Virginia recap, I did like a writing post of everything that we did while we were there on my Patreon. It was a whirlwind, to say the least, but it was so much fun. And then we got back from that trip and we had about 3-ish full days in town before we left again to go to Burlington for my cousin's white coat ceremony party. So he's becoming a doctor, and it was truly just so much fun to see my side of the family. And she got to meet her other great-grandmother, and now she's met all of her great-grandparents. And my aunt and uncle and my cousins were there, and it was just really fantastic. And then we got back on like Saturday afternoon. We had yesterday, Sunday, to kind of readjust, unpack, do laundry, and then today is Monday. And from now until my parents arrive on Thursday, I am truly trying to get as much done as I possibly can, because I just feel so behind, not only with my videos, but also just with my to-do list in general. Like, it is so hard. My sister and I were talking about this last night, just kind of like venting back and forth via text. Like, when you travel, it's so hard to also keep your household managed and your chores kind of in order, obviously. Like right now I'm looking at my table and it's just like covered in mail that I need to send out or open. And you know, the laundry is done yesterday. We really tried to get that done. But you know, just life, chores, just the dishwasher and sweeping and vacuuming and all of these types of things. But today was actually an appointment day for all of us. Finley is on an appointment right now. And then Corvidia and I just got home from the pediatrician. And while I was out, I also dropped off a couple of packages that I needed to send out to some exclusively pumping parents. I'm basically sending out kind of like care packages at the moment to parents affected by the storms in Western North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, and just kind of sending like diapers, wipes, breastfeeding bags, and other little goodies. So my entire table right now is just covered in like baby gear, and I have a couple of more packages that I need to send out today. But yes, I sent out 3 of those this morning. And also, this is so funny, but I just need to give you guys this update. So on the way home, I was driving, and you know when you're just kind of like in a little bit of a mood. I was in a little bit of a mood this morning. I was just feeling like, oh my God, just a little bit exhausted, ready to take a nap with her, you know, all of those things. And one of my neighbors was like blocking the road to my house. And so I saw him and I rolled down my window and I introduced myself. And it's just so funny when you have like such a positive and amazing interaction with somebody, but you went into it like a little bit annoyed because I was like, ugh, why is he blocking the road, you know? But then when I actually talked to him, I was like, wow, this man is kind of iconic. iconic. And the reason I'm even bringing up this story is because I have been telling you guys about how we needed to do a big purchase of a tractor to be able to service our driveway needs. We have just like some drainage issues that we need to see to before snow runoff season. And then obviously with snow season, we paid our neighbor last year to plow for us, but we really don't want to do that long term. We're literally the only ones on our road who don't have our own tractor to plow, just Vermont things, you know? So we've known for a while that we need to do that, but it's just such a big purchase that we've just been like sitting on it and looking at local auctions for farm equipment and stuff like that, and just kind of having it like tucked away in the back of our minds, but knowing that we really need to do that before the snow falls down. And when I'm filming this, it is October 21st. Last year we had snow on November 1st, so we really need to get on this, right? So it's been on my mind, and I mentioned to my neighbor, he was asking me, how are you liking it? You know, how are the winters for you guys? And I mentioned that we're in the market for a tractor, and he was like, oh my God, I'm selling a tractor. It's a beautiful John Deere. It has like not really any hours on it at all, and he's selling it for so cheap, with a snowblower attachment, with a rake, with a plow, with a backhoe, literally all of the things that we would need for such a good price. And I was just like, sir, let me get your number because I'm gonna need my husband to call you. So that was really positive and fantastic, and I'll let you know if anything comes of that. It's Good News Monday, and that is my good news to share with you. I got a babbler on my lap. She seriously is a yapper just like her mommy. She has so much to say all the time. It's actually incredible. I need to go feed her and do a little bit of editing, but we may go back out on the town later today because I need to send out some more of these care packages and also drop off this bag of goodies for my neighbor who just had a baby as well. I'm so happy, by the way, because a lot of the people on our road are retired old men, but you know, when you got fellow babies around in rural places, oh, that is just a treat. All right, let's go feed. She's rooting. Okay, today we are food prepping dessert in the middle of the day so that I can put it in the fridge and have a nice little late night snack when I'm craving chocolate, which I know a lot of you can relate to. So I've made a similar recipe to this, but instead of cottage cheese, I use tofu. So if you're vegan, you could just do that and use like a different kind of milk. But this is everything you're gonna need: maple syrup, a pinch of salt, whole milk, full fat cottage cheese, peanut butter, and cacao powder. And then you just put all of the ingredients together in a food processor. It's very easy. And then it makes like a high protein chocolate pudding. But the recipe I'm using today is from No Shock Here. Let them eat dirt kids.com. Whole tub right on in there. Quarter cup, well, whole milk, a quarter cup peanut butter, 2 tablespoons of cacao powder, pinch of salt. Okay, I just realized I forgot the maple syrup, so I am going to add in 2 tablespoons of maple syrup into this and just keep blending it now, because that would not be good if it was not sweet. Okay, let's try it. I would say the texture is kind of giving ice cream a little bit, I feel, but I could be wrong about that. It's just very thick. So I'm happy about that. Thought it would be runny when I was watching it in the food processor. I was like, oh God. But it's definitely gonna thicken more with time. Okay. Okay, I do like it. It is a little bit sour, like cottage cheese would be, but I think that I'm officially over my cottage cheese fear with making so many high protein recipes with it. It's just like when you blend it, who cares anymore? Not me.
Rail tire worker, I've been laying tires on cold ground.
After Finley got back, I just left to go and run errands again. I was gonna send off all 3 care packages, but really I had a series of flops, so I need to tell them to you. But it was, in the end, redeeming. I left the house literally at like 3:50 to go to the post office, and one of the post offices around here closes at 4, and I most certainly did not have time after I finished packing all of the packages and writing little notes and stuff to go to that post office. So I was like, okay, I'll just go to the one that's farther away. And then when I got there, I had like 3 big boxes in my arms. She just farted, if you heard that. Anyway, I had things falling out of my hands and I was just trying my best. And I go in carrying this tower of boxes. And the man behind the counter was like, yeah, you can't send that Jim Beam box. It's illegal. And I was like, what? Because I had packed one of the boxes in like one of our old moving boxes, which just happened to be a Jim Beam box unfortunately, and I felt like a fucking idiot because literally I had all of the things packed in the diaper box before I was gonna leave, but then I packed it into the Jim Beam box because it was slightly smaller, so slightly less expensive. Should have never done that, but how was I supposed to know? Did you guys know that you're not supposed to ship things in liquor boxes via USPS? I mean, I get it, I guess, but like, nobody told me that. Anyway, I digress. I was able to send 2 out of 3 of more of the care packages. I'll just send the next one tomorrow in the friggin' diaper box. But after that, I was like, okay, big flop, big flop. And my second flop was that I took my camera with me and I was going to film Shuffle That Shit because I didn't have the baby in the car and I was just gonna kind of joyride around and do a Shuffle That Shit video for Patreon because that's like an old series I used to do in my vlogs if you guys have been around since like the 2012 to let's say 2017 era. Anyway, my camera died while I was out, so I filmed like a quick intro to that, immediately died, and I was like, this is so great because I changed shirts before I left the house and I had put an extra battery for my camera in the pocket of the flannel I was wearing earlier, but of course I took that flannel off, so that was just another big flop. And then I was like, God, this trip, just too many flops. And you know when you leave the house and you've driven at least some distance, you know, and you're like, I just gotta make this worth it. I then decided, what if I just took myself on a date? So I went to Hai Thai. It was incredible. I got some delicious massaman curry and some veggie samosas. And I talked to the owner, Adam, again, and I haven't seen him since the night before I went into labor. So when my mom was in town, I went with her to Hai Thai because it's one of my favorite restaurants in Brattleboro and I needed to share it with her. And we were talking over dinner and I had some spicy curry, massaman curry. It's like a little bit of a kick, not anything too crazy. And I remember eating it and being like, whew, you know, my nail technician told me that spicy food put her into labor. And when we were driving to the restaurant, I told my mom that I felt like birth was imminent. And then when I was leaving the restaurant, I told Adam, I was like, the next time you see me, I'll probably have a baby. And he was like, all right, good luck. Literally the next day, I went into labor. So I told him that story tonight and he was like, that's awesome. I'm gonna tell everybody that story now. It's so great. And I was like, yes, if you see any pregnant people waddling in here, just warn them. My food could send you into labor. Actually, maybe don't say that, but yeah. Anyway, it was a great just self-care date and now I'm back home and breastfeeding my little Bisher and hanging out with the dogs. Larry met me and came running down the driveway actually and hopped in the car. It was very cute. He missed me so much. I just love my little boy. He loves sitting here in the bed with me and the baby while I'm feeding, just protecting us. Rue's here too. She's just at the foot of the bed. Anyway, it was overall a successful trip, although I wish that I was able to send out all 3 care packages, but there's always tomorrow, tomorrow. I love ya.
Tomorrow.
Corvidia fell asleep on me, so we're gonna go down to visit the pigs. I've gotten some comments in the past when I go for a walk and show like walking clips and show my feet that people are like, hey, that's making me a little dizzy. So I'm gonna warn you now that I'm gonna do that because I need to show you my shoes. When Abby was in town, she gave me her kind of hunter green colored Crocs. And I'm so excited about them because this is one of my favorite colors to wear and Crocs are just iconic. And I only have a fake pair of Crocs that are really too thin and get penetrated by the smallest stone. And then also I have fur-lined Crocs that are like bright yellow, but you know, sometimes that's just not the vibe. Look at this tree. She's gorgeous. She's giving everything. Also, all these acorns are down on the ground. Honestly, a year ago, the pigs had just moved to Vermont and they would eat these acorns and they just thought they were so crunchy and delicious. They were just lunatics. I miss them so much. Also, on the shoe note, the reason Abby gave these to me is because she put them out in the sun and they shrunk. So I have smaller feet than her and she was like, do you want them? I didn't know that Crocs could shrink. Did you guys know that? Anyway, I'm gonna spend some time with the piggies. Look who came to join us. Some kind of small rat. Are you foraging for acorns too? You really have quite loud feet for being so tiny and small. She loves crunching the leaves. Mrs. Crunchkins. It's a working day. My neighbors are working in the distance. So are we. Finley's been making some very loud saw sounds. Ooh, a little chipmunk. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw him. I love chipmunks. The colors are really giving everything right now in the backyard. Give me everything tonight. For all we know, we might not have some fall colors in our town, so give it tonight. Even though it's the middle of the day. Are the leaves changing where you guys live? Please let me know. Oh, look who just woke up. Earlier this morning, our propane company came and took back 2 of these giant propane tanks. We had 3 of them, and now we just have the 1. The lighting is not great here, so sorry, but just needed to prop you up to tell you why they took our tanks back. So, when we first got our propane set up here last year, it was like, I think November of last year or something. It's a long story, but the previous owner just had like a very unsafe setup, and we had our propane shut off for months. If you guys remember from the moving vlogs, we couldn't use our oven for a very long period of time for safety reasons, of course. And then when we got the propane set up finally, we had 3 big tanks installed because we have 2 propane wall heaters in the house. But then after we got the tanks installed, we realized that we weren't going to use the propane wall heaters and we're just going to use our furnace and wood stove. And we're gonna rip out the propane wall heaters. There's one in our upstairs bathroom and then one that's like basically on the opposite side of this wall in our dining room. And so we don't need 3 tanks for literally just our stove. And in a recent vlog, you guys saw Finley replaced our water heater because that broke. And originally he tried to do a replacement with a propane water heater because there was a propane water heater vent here. It's on the side of our house over here. Actually, it's like one of our chimneys. And this was just like a whole long story that I didn't include in that last vlog because I just showed him installing the electric one. But basically before that, he had tried to install a propane one, and the line, like the vent line that the previous owner had installed here was just like completely way too long, and it wasn't actually properly venting and couldn't properly vent. And if he ever had a propane water heater installed here, then it was probably, you know, not up to code in any way, shape, or form. So we had our propane company come check that out, and then they were like, yeah, if you wanted to do that, you would have to vent it like a certain other way, rebuild the whole chimney on the side of the house. And we were like, we don't want to do that. Let's just do a more efficient electric heat pump water heater. So that's why we went with that option. But after that, we were like, ugh, now we can't even use the propane for our water heater. Then why do we have these 3 big tanks of propane for? And so when the propane guy came, he was like, you know, you can just credit these back to your account and we'll come and pick them up. Like, you don't have to just, you know, eat this charge. And we were like, well, that's incredible news. So this morning they came and they picked up the tanks and credited our account. So that's a little update for you on propane. I know it was a little boring, but I just wanted to say that because that's what happened today. Okay, I got the car all packed up. The diaper box is going out to somebody in Florida. The basket is donations I need to take to the village closet, as well as this changing pad, because we honestly change her in the bed much more often than we do on the changing pad, and we want our dresser top back. So I'm gonna donate this to somebody who would use it. I also have a little gift bag on the front seat for my neighbor I'm gonna drop off on the way to story time, which is where we're going now. So I'm gonna get her in her car seat. Okay, story time was amazing, as always. Today we switched it up actually, and we had story time outside, and we planted tulips that will go to sleep for the fall and winter and wake up in the spring. So we read like a nighttime book. It was called Good Night Sam, and we really loved it. And we breastfed in the sunshine and hung out with the librarian and had a totally wicked time. And now we're feeding in the car again at the post office, and I just got my Breast Cancer Awareness Month stamps. They're doing like a raffle at my USPS where you can buy a book of stamps for $17 and then enter in your name to win this like a breast cancer awareness basket. It's like a bunch of pink goodies and local business goodies and stuff like that. So this is just your reminder that it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and early screening saves lives, brothers. I was gonna try to film a haul from my P.O. box, but I absolutely do not have the hands to do that right now. One of my viewers on TikTok reached out to me and said that she wanted to send me her old baby clothes, and she said that she had like thrifted and found a bunch of just like adorable vintage clothes as well when she first had babies. I think she's trying to poop actually, so I'm gonna turn off the camera, but she did end up sending those to me, so I'll unbox them when I get home. Okay, these are from Appalachian Ferry. Oh God, okay, here we go. Some vintage dresses. Look at this, that's unreal. Oh, wow. Very groovy flower girl. I'm gonna put them over here so you can look at them too, babe. Mushrooms. A little mushroom sort of dress, ruffle butt.
Ruffle butt mushroom.
It's actually ruffle sides, I think is what it is. It goes like this, and then it's ruffles on the side. This is so awesome. I can't believe she did this. She was done having babies, so she sent me all of their clothes. This is Kate Quinn. Great brand. Love that.
Great brand.
Look at that.
That's pretty cute.
That's so cute. A lot of Kate Quinn, I'm realizing. Most things. A really good brand. Sage green,
That's
little.
so fetch.
That is very fetch. And then we have little shorties or little bloomers with a matching hat. Oh my God.
Gnome cap.
A little gnome cap. That's really cute. This is an insanely large haul. 12 to 18 months. This is like the next size up that we need. Pine cone pen. Finley got a phone call, so he left with the baby to go walk around the yard. I'm not gonna tell you all of the sizes because you probably don't care, but cute little white leggings. This would be really good for winter under like dresses and stuff. Oh my God. This is so cute. This is a little jean baby gap dress, and then it has this little patch on it that says little kitten. God, this is an insane haul. I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting like a couple of little things, but this is so great. Little red, white, and blue moment. Oh my God, this is unreal. It's a little like fairy printed dress. Are you kidding me? I know your username, but what's your actual name? Emily? You're kidding. This is fantastic. I'm not even close to done. I'm probably halfway done. Another little mushroom moment, and this she can wear now, 3 to 6 months. My God. I can't believe this is my life. Sometimes I get packages to my P.O. box and I'm just like, how is life even real? You know? Like the people who watch me are so on the same vibe as me that of course they would provide something of this nature. Mushroom printed onesies. Again, you're kidding. Come on, Emily. Coming through. Emily. Oh, this is gonna be really good for winter. Love this. Oh my God, I just realized the top. I didn't even realize the bottom. God, the little flowers. See, thrifted and vintage, you know, really insane. Another little gnome hat. This one's red. We have a green little gnome hat, but now we have some variety of colors. So she's gonna be rocking those this fall and winter. Speaking of gnomes, a gnome dress. Speaking for real right now. Blue mushrooms and blue gnomes. One of them is playing a flute. It's just whimsy over here, filled with whimsy. This looks like something I would wear, these stretchy topped dresses. That's one of my favorite styles to wear because it fits the cans. She can be like mommy in this. So cute. Oh my God, I love that kind of bohemian print. This little oatmeal footie. Is it a footie? No, it's actually just like open bottom, but still incredible. Oh my God, is this bats? It's freaking bats. Little bloomers. And then a little hat. She'll have to wear this to baby group before Halloween. Oh, cute. My God, this little dress. And it has little houses on it. Simply adorable. And lastly, we have a little mushroom onesie. God, I literally cannot believe this. Her note is at the very bottom. Look at this little drawing. Meg, I hope you love the baby clothes and can use them for Corvidia and future babies. I've been a viewer since I was in middle school and I love watching you in your mama era. Sending all my love to your sweet family. Love, Emily, AKA Appalachian Ferry. Thank you so much. I cannot believe this. Wow. These clothes will be cherished for years to come. I just have to say that. I am riding a high right now. I am losing my mind, some might say. Emily, I simply can't thank you enough. I don't know how to put it into words, but I hope this clip somewhat did it justice, my level of gratitude to you. Wow. I'm gonna go put these away. Well, looky. I came home to a new vent in the floor, one in the bathroom. bringing the heat up to the second level. Finley has been redoing the HVAC system here lately, just putting more vents in more places because when we moved into this house, there were only heat vents on the first floor. Anyway, we live in a multi-level home, so he's bringing them up to multiple levels. So we have a vent now to heat the bathroom. We're gonna have, I think, 2 vents in our bedroom that were not there. And then he's putting more in the kitchen because there was 2 in really stupid places. And then there were 2 in the wing. But I think that he filmed a couple of clips of him redoing the HVAC. So I'm gonna put those in now.
So taking another hiatus from the bathroom as I try to winterize my home better. I think I might put on a new front door next. But look at this worm. It's like a dune worm. So here's a bunch of supplies I have. I have more of this flex ducting in the other room. And I am trying to rehabilitate this HVAC system, which is absolutely I can't really, it's hard to even explain. This thing is rated to push out 1400 CFM. I think it was utilizing not even full, I think it was like 375 or something. So like over 1,000 potential CFM that was not being used, which is really bad for your furnace. It makes so little sense on every level. So basically, I'm trying to add more registers, which is like the vents that air comes out of. So more of that potential CFM is being utilized. I have to like go back and redo the math to make sure it's even right, because technically, each 6-inch flex duct is 75 CFM, and there really technically is only 3, so that's 225. 1 register here in the wing, another register right over there. But to complicate things, that's off of 1 6-inch flex duct line, which can only go to 1 register. So the fact that it's providing 2 kind of splits up the air between those areas, but it's gonna be like half the amount. It's not actually like 2 full registers, if that makes sense. That's dumb and bad, right? We all agree. How about this? Putting your other register right by the front door. One might say, that is dumb and bad. How about this? I don't know if you could see, but there's another register right there. How about that? Putting your last register in the only closet in the entire house. I mean, Jesus, why? That like comes out to like 225 CFM, which every time I say it just melts my mind. So my plan is 8-inch flex duct lines are 160 CFM per. So I'm gonna put a fat 8-inch with a 10 by 10 register in that corner. I'm gonna do another fat 10 by 10 register right here in the center of the room. Probably move that bin and put it under there. I'm relocating this closet one from in there to right here, where you might be able to see some holes drilled in the floor. I'm gonna keep the one by the front door where it is. I'm going to run an 8-inch line up, build a little, not closet, just like a kind of void space right there in the wall. It'll run up, it'll run horizontally over my head along this beam, and I'll have 2 6-inch registers into the bedroom. And then over here, I'm gonna take the one that was coming up into this closet, instead route it up another floor into the bathroom and have it venting into the bathroom. And then I'll leave the wing one how it is. I might relocate where it ends up, but more or less leave it how it is, and that should give me nice distribution. It's still underutilized, like that, all that comes out to only like 800 CFM, so I still have like an extra 600 to spare, which is not good, but I just can only do what I can do. The other challenges are, we took a wood stove that was venting, sharing this vent with the furnace, which is not how it's supposed to be. I'm just gonna reconnect these with the cap on the 3rd leg. We got a chimney sweep coming, so if that's improper, he'll fix that for me. And then the big problem that I haven't decided whether I want to solve yet, I mean I want to, but whether I will, because it's confusing me and a pain in the ass, is the return. He had it in a weird way where it was like returning the air, the hot air over the wood stove. I don't even know why there was a wood stove burning down here in the first place, but alas, that's how it was. There's a return over top of me, but it's not nearly big enough for the size of this furnace. So I might just let it suck in the cold air from the basement, which is obviously not as efficient as reheating the already warm air from upstairs. But for 800 CFM, if I was trying to match that return wise, I'd need, if it was going to be a single return, it'd have to be like 20 inch by 20 inch, which is literally like, that's not even 20 inches wide. So anyways, just some stuff to think about for me, but I'm going to focus on getting the hot air to useful places and leave the return problem for later. There's like diminishing returns to a point, you know, like a lot of stuff in this house is done so badly that like doing anything makes a substantial difference. Like we had virtually zero insulation in our wing in the ceiling. So I took all the insulation that was up there, spread it out across the floor, and it's made a massive difference. I had the stairwell built up into there. I put some foam board to block off the stairwell and make it actually a sealed space down here. And like, holy cow, is it making a huge difference. And I put cellulose in the attic above our bedroom. That should make a big difference. I'm gonna replace the front door. You can see daylight through it. It's terrible for the winter time. And then doing all this furnace work. And I think after all those things, it's gonna be like, wow, this is actually fairly manageable in the winter. I'm optimistic. I mean, wow, that's a classy look right there. Spending the big bucks on these registers. They're pretty expensive. This is like 25, 27 bucks. They sell them a lot cheaper, I think down to like 12 bucks or something like that. But I'm a sucker for hardware. Like, I'll go all out for hardware. I'm just a lot for hardware. I'm happy with the way it looks. Meg just vetoed the 10 by 10 white registers I got for the big ones. So, gonna have to get some sexier hardware than that to replace those. But anyways, that'll look good. So I popped that register off. This is a alleged register boot. So I cut this, it's a pretty firm fit. I'm gonna throw a couple of these little self-tapping screws in there just to keep it secure. In a video, somebody was like, if they step in here, then it'll hold them up. I don't know if it'll do all that, but I don't like that little bubble right there, so. This is how you start a new line. This is called a trunk line above me. You know, if you don't wanna put 100 little 6-inch holes in your furnace, then you can put a bigger hole to put one of these trunk lines out, run air to wherever you need it, and then branch off with these 6 or 8 inchers. So I just put this up there, traced it, drilled a little pilot hole for me to get a saw blade in there. I'll cut that out and put this in. I don't know how one would really tape this, so I'm using some mastic I found here that the previous owner left behind. It's almost like a caulk or something like that. So I'm trying to put this on pretty thick here. You know, I want it to compress and fill any gaps and whatnot. This should do, if I'm any judge, which I'm not really. So I think I'll put some screws in first, and then I'll bend those little tabs on the inside. Probably put about 4 in here. There's just all these little tabs back here. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this. There's a black, whatever these are called right there. Right here are 2 nails I stuck up. So I actually did get some bigger ones of these, but I'm just gonna use this because it's in my hand. So that's just to hang it up and support it. Now, take another set of these. All right, looks pretty good. I don't even know if I really needed to do that there, but it's done. So I'll just put in some more supports to hang it from, but really trying to keep them to a minimum because they do compress the insulation. I got that beam that'll support it, and just gotta run it to the other end.
Hope you enjoyed those HVAC clips of what he's gotten so far. I'm sure he'll update you, or I hope he'll update you when he's kind of more finished, but I took the camera all day, so he didn't have it to film. We're thinking that we might need to get a second camera for him because he doesn't want to film on his iPhone X. But I mean, he could if he really wanted to, but maybe I'll upgrade for Christmas and give him this camera. We'll see. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I was talking about this in a previous vlog, but we've just kind of pivoted at the moment away from focusing entirely on the second bathroom renovation because we need to do a lot of just like heating, insulation, and prepping for the winter ahead so that we're not just blowing heat through the roof or wasting money and all those kinds of things. Just like I've shown you, you know, sealing the foundation cracks, sealing different places where air could get in. So that's been the main focus this month for like the handful of days that we've been actually home without, you know, hosting or something. But I don't want to make it seem like we don't love hosting. It's just hard to balance like the renovations staying, I guess, on schedule. Not that we really have a schedule, but just like staying on track and trying to complete things is tough when you are either leaving town all the time or having people come into town all the time. So I'm honestly really excited just to spend November at home. I feel good about that. And I feel really good about my parents coming into town as as well. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have my mom help me rearrange our bedroom because ever since Finley built Corvidia's crib, it's just way too massive for the space. Let me show you. This is her crib. I thought that it would be able to fit next to our dresser here, but it most certainly does not fit both of these items. I don't know. I think I had pregnancy brain when I measured because yeah, this would just never work out. So I need to just rearrange things. I think I'm gonna put this dresser in the closet. She's still in her bassinet for now. It's not like she has to transition to the crib ASAP. Like she's not even 5 months old when I'm filming this yet, but I would ideally like to transition her from the bassinet to the crib and put this in storage. Anyway, if my mom helps me rearrange, then I'll probably just show you the new bedroom layout in a future vlog because I feel like me trying to stand here and like explain the future layout to you won't even make sense, and I'll probably make mistakes and change my mind a lot of times anyway too. So what's the point, dear? There is no point here. All right, I'm gonna edit.
The next day.
Tell me why I'm blasting the AC in my car right now in the middle of October. It's been almost 75 degrees for 3 days straight. Very abnormal. Anyway, good morning. Actually, good afternoon. I went to baby group this morning and we had it outside again because the weather's so nice. So that was great because, you know, moving indoors just means more sickness, honestly, which is a source of anxiety, but it's gonna be fine. It's just one of those things as a parent where it's just like, yeah, this is worth it for like the social output and input that I get in my life. And also socializing her with other babies and stuff like that. It's just worth it to me if we get a couple of more colds throughout the year. And let me know if you're a parent and you can relate. Also because it's like, yeah, if your baby, if you have to go back to work and your baby goes to daycare, it's just one of those things where it's like, this is just a sacrifice. This is just something that we all know and we understand that we're gonna get sick more, you know? Anyway, we are back in the car. She totally knocked the fuck out. At the end of baby group, almost every single one of the babies was just like losing their minds, like so tired, ready for a nap. They were over it. It was just like a full shutdown across the board because we stayed and we talked for a very long time, almost an extra hour, because the speaker today didn't end up showing up. So instead we had a pregnant person in our midst. And so as our topic instead, we just talked about like what we wish we would have known when we were pregnant, or just like things to keep in mind for postpartum and all that kind of stuff, which is so funny because I literally have been thinking about how it is such a passion of mine now to talk to my fellow pregnant friends and mom friends, just because like you don't know until you know. And then when you know, you're like, how could I have not shown up for them in a way of like emotional support and checking in and just asking about their health and how they're feeling emotionally and physically and spiritually, all of these things, you know? And then once you're like across that threshold, you're like, oh my God, I need to like reach out to every pregnant person or, you know, parent that I've ever known and been like, I get it now and I love you and I see you. So we were kind of talking about stuff like that. And just like stuff to prepare for. Obviously everybody's like postpartum journey is different, so people were just sharing like a wide variety of perspectives, from, you know, postpartum anxiety and depression to just like this absolute bliss that you have if you've been trying for a really long time, if you're like an older parent and you know, we're going through like fertility treatments and stuff like that, or we're trying to adopt for a long period of time. Like everybody's journey into parenting is just so vastly different, and I just love going to group. I love it so much because it just gives me so much like perspective on just everybody's situation. Really great group today. Simply loved it. And I also have some very exciting news that I still cannot believe even happened. But while I was at group today, we had a cleaning service come and clean our house. And I've been wanting to do this since we literally got married, which was in 2022. On wedding registries, you can do like little funds that people can contribute to. And on there, I had put a cleaning service fund. And then we moved out of that house and I never ended up like using the funds to hire, you know, a cleaner while I was in the house. And I just can't believe that I was able to just like go to group, and now I'm gonna go home to like a fully clean home. And I didn't just like leave them there alone to do the cleaning stuff. Finley's been working on HVAC and whatnot, and he told me that they did a totally killer job. So we're gonna go and see all of that. I really just wanted them to do like a deep clean of all of the hard to reach areas that are like really hard for us us to get to we don't have like an extendable duster, which is shocking because we live in kind of like a log cabin vibe home. And we really need one to reach all of the like wooden beams and columns that are all throughout our house. And so they brought ladders and they brought their extendable dusters, and I'm just so excited about that. And them just doing like appliance cleaning really as well. It's just such a moment of like gratitude and, you know, just like the privilege of being able to do this. And I'm like, oh my God, now is this going to change my life? Is it going to give me like a taste of the other side? I don't know. Because some people have like a weekly cleaning service, bi-weekly or monthly. And I just like decided to try them out for this one time. But a lot of my mom friends are like, that's pretty much the best gift that you can give yourself is a clean home. And my parents are coming tomorrow, so it felt like a good time to finally do it. And Finley and I have been talking a lot about like, obviously when our kids are older, we want to do like big family cleaning days and like they'll have chores and be able to help, but it's also like she's an infant, you know? So when we do the split of like our chores and stuff, it's more, oh, there's somebody next to me. It's more just like maintenance of upkeep of the home, and doing deep cleans is just so much harder with her because it's like either one person is watching her and then the other person is doing the deep cleaning, or we're both cleaning but she's napping and we don't know for how long. And we were talking about this today too, just kind of like mourning those activities that you used to do alone and do it like to the fullest extent. Like you could get on the ladder, you could reach those high up places, but it's like if you're cleaning your house in a quick little ditty and you want to have your baby on you in the carrier, you're not climbing up a ladder with an extendable duster, you know what I mean? So just all of those things, and especially coming home from like travel and trips and all of those things, and realizing like the list of cleaning tasks and doing the ones that need to be done for just like daily house maintenance are always at the top of the list for us. Tidying up the bathrooms, cleaning the toilet and the sinks and the counters and stuff like that. We can manage all of that stuff, dishwasher, laundry, whatever. But it's more of like the nooks and crannies where it's like, yes, this would be really valuable just to have somebody come for a couple of hours and take care of this. So we had a team of 3 people today come from 9 until like 11:30-ish. And I'm gonna go home and see all the things that they did. I'm such a person too when it comes to cleaning where I'm like, I wanna do it this way. So it was definitely really hard for me to be like, okay, I can unload this and maybe it's gonna be done differently or even to a higher degree than like what I'm capable of. So I need to keep that in mind. Not like they won't do it to my standard, but they'll probably do it above my standard. That's how I've been reframing it. Anyway, I'm blabbing about this for a really long time, but I just like, I'm kind of still in disbelief and I just feel very grateful. Let's go home and see it. All right, y'all. So this is the after. I didn't show you the before. And obviously our house is still a renovation zone. You know what I mean? So I was like, you don't need to worry about the drywall or cleaning like the area where the future bathroom is going or anything like that, or our storage room. Like pretty much the only part of the wing. I'll just get to that in a second. Let me just show you the kitchen, okay? Also, I wanted to say that they were happy to use our cleaning products, which was really nice of them. And they brought like, obviously their own vacuum and carpet cleaner and, you know, dusters and trash bags, whatever. But I told them I would just prefer them to use, you know, our all natural cleaners. And they were super nice about that. I'm just kind of moving things back to my decor places where they were. But they cleaned our appliances, like the inside, outside, the stainless steel polish, and cleaned the whole sink, sanitized the counters. Let's check inside the oven. Gorgeous. There was some drip drops in there from my egg cups. Cleaned the top of the range, you know, full counters. I saw them like dusting under all of my collection of items as well. And then over here, I was like, don't worry about this table. We just have, you know, some crap on the table. We had a clothing rack for our coats in the wing right on the other side of this wall, but then it's like where the second bathroom is going. So now we just have all of our coats piled up everywhere. And I need to get another clothing rack because I don't know where to put them. Anyway, they did some big dusting of like all of these beams. They vacuumed the whole staircase and cleaned the carpets and dusted and got that all going. Looks beautiful, beautiful. I have to take these chairs to be caned still. I was talking about this in a previous vlog, and then this used to go in my car, so I need to put it back in my car. And then let's go upstairs. I told them not to worry about the laundry, and we're obviously rearranging this room as well, so I told her that. And I was like, just leave the laundry in here. I need to fold it. But they like changed the sheets, made the bed. I just did this, by the way. They didn't leave it like that. Vacuumed, dusted. Also, literally every time I see this, I'm like, oh, I just love her book rack so much. I'll never be over it. And now are you ready for the bane of my existence? our bathroom. Finley actually just installed a new faucet here because the old one was just an old fixture that wasn't working very well. So upgrade, and now it's all shiny and clean. Cleaned the toilets, wiped down the floors, cleaned the bathtub. There's just some lovely little stains there from the water. And you guys know, I hate these floors because they always look dirty. The linoleum has been majorly stained over the years. I'm not a big fan of linoleum floors, as you can see, and I can't wait to put some fucking tile in here and redo the whole thing. But I'm happy it's clean and sanitized. What else? What else? Oh, they did like, you know, windowsills, dusting high and low. Finley's down in the living room with the baby, but I'll show you in there. I told them they can just vacuum here, but obviously not to worry about this carpet, like, you know, running a carpet cleaner over it like crazy because we're just going to rip it out. But I wanted them to dust kind of these hard to reach places up here that I don't normally get to. And then just these areas, vacuuming, you know, the whole 9 yards around here. Larry, did you like having them here? He's actually full body shaking. He said he doesn't know who came into his home today, but he's still feeling a little confused. You did a great job, buddy. Great sport. You need a blanket? Dad will get you a blanket.
Did you hear her laughing earlier?
You were laughing? Here you go, Larry. You wouldn't want to be cold, be sure. I just realized I didn't show the rest of the room after I tucked Larry in because he was just so cute and comfortable. I needed to cuddle him. But it was just more dusted windowsills, basically, and vacuum drugs. And now that I don't have to spend today cleaning before my parents come, I'm just going to focus on editing, really, so I can try to get this video up for you this week while they're in town. And I know throughout this video I asked you guys lots of questions that you could comment below your answers to, but I'm going to leave you off on this question. How are you going to treat yourself this week? I had a couple of little self-care moments in this vlog. Getting my nails and toes done, taking myself on a date, hiring a cleaning service. I mean, the list goes on, honey. And similar to Donna and Tom in Parks and Rec, I'd say, treat yourself 2011. Treat yourself 2024. Let me know below how you'll treat yourself. Clothes, massages, fine leather goods. What else do they say? Jewelry, maybe? I don't know. I'll have to put in the scene if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Treat yourself 2011. Once a year, Donna and I spend a day treating ourselves. What do we treat ourselves to?
Clothes.
Treat yourself.
Fragrances.
Treat yourself.
Massages.
Treat yourself.
Mimosas.
Treat yourself.
Fine leather goods.
Treat yourself.
It's the best day of the year.
The best day of the year.
I'm treating myself right now to a little baby cuddle. She is clutching onto my shirt as she's feeding. It's very sweet. Okay, I really have to go. I'll talk your ear off for the rest of the video. I love you. I'm gonna have a totally wicked visit with my parents, and we will touch base when I'm back on here. When I'm not on here, I'm on Patreon, patreon.com/Meghan Hughes. That's where all the cool kids hang out. All right, stay smiling. Bye, y'all.